Hopefully it isn't too breezy out here, but you know, without anything to watch really on TV, I'm normally watching live sports if I watch anything. I have a little more time messing around with the video stuff. But yesterday, talking a bit about, reminiscing a bit about the military, it's really kind of interesting. I mean, that was only 3 years of my life, and but some of the things that happened, have stuck with me all these years. And I was thinking about one of my fellow soldiers, a guy named Kevin Rooney from Warwick, Rhode Island. And Kevin and I were good friends, and he was the quintessential Irish Catholic kid, from the Boston area, more or less. But if you're from back east, you don't want to have to tell people you're from Warwick, Rhode Island when you can't pronounce your R's. If you can't say park and have to say pock, telling people you're from Warwick, doesn't work all that well for the rest of the country. But anyway, we were good friends, but rivals. We were both tall. He was a much better athlete than I was. But every year, well, I shouldn't say every year, but a couple of times in my 3 years, the last 2 years, I got sent, and it was kind of a reward in a way. We would get sent temporary duty to Camp Ripley, Minnesota, to help train the National Guard. And really what we did was send up weather balloons for their artillery units that were there. But it's a beautiful area, right on the Mississippi, just south of where it forms at its origin there in Itasca. So it's, you can picture this is a great reward for us. I mean, and it's 2 weeks, and we party, on the weekends. And I mean, it was just a great time. We'd fish, swim in the river. We spent 2 hours, I shit you not, we spent 2 hours throwing rocks from one side of the Mississippi to the other to see if we could throw rocks across it. I was always about 10 or 20 feet short, but Rooney, he could hit the other side, man. He had a hell of an arm. But anyway, because of our friendship, we were kind of rivals too, so we weren't above giving each other a hard time. And one year we got to Camp Ripley, and we'd fly up there on a Friday, fly commercial from Colorado Springs to Minneapolis, get a rental car, and we there were like 4 of us, maybe 5, I don't remember how many now. But we'd get there and on a Friday and get unpacked and everything. Well, Saturday morning, I realized I had left my Army boots at home. And this isn't, you can't be out of uniform. This is actually a punishable offense. And you have to have a reason if you aren't wearing boots, like if you have to wear tennis shoes because you've hurt an ankle or something. So I go to my sergeant and ask if he can do anything about it, and he says, no, get your ass over to the PX and get a pair of boots, you moron, Kind of like, hey, dumbass, this is your fault, not mine. So, damn it, I have to go over to the PX and buy a pair of boots, and they don't, these are not, the boots they carry are higher end. They call them jump boots back then. I don't think they use that kind of boot anymore, but they called them jump boots, and they were more expensive than what you would buy at the normal quartermaster or on post, So I'm having to fork over like $60 or $70 for a pair of boots, and that's like my party money, man. Like, oh no, I gotta make it 2 more weeks here, So anyway, I part with my money and get my boots, so I'm all set, I'm legal. And luckily for me, they had a very limited selection of boots, and my size, which is 13, I could live with 12 and a half or 13, but I got like the last pair. The rest of them were like 9s, So anyway, the thing is that Rooney, knew I'd forgotten my boots. So he's telling everybody in these barracks that we're sharing with these National Guard people how this moron friend of his forgot his goddamn boots, So I'm taking abuse from people I don't even know, So I'm kind of upset with him. But anyway, it's, that's the way it is, You just deal with it. It wasn't that big a deal, Good-natured ribbing, but at some point you get tired of it. So that night we hit the bar, And I had never played this game. It was the first time I'd been introduced to it. But they're playing this dice game at the bar called 654. And I start playing that game, and I get on a roll, and I win like $80, man. I get my boot money back and a little more, right? So it's like, just this is the story of my life. Just pure ass dumb luck, right? So anyway, fast forward to Monday morning. We're getting up at like 5 in the morning, and I hear Rooney, this just stream of, God, roll, son of a, I can't, oh my God, Well, it turns out that Karma came for a little visit to Mr. Rooney, and he had brought 2 left boots. So anyway, he has to go over to the PX and buy a pair of boots. Well, it turns out I'd bought the last pair that was anywhere close to fitting him. So Rooney ended up wearing 2 left boots for the full 2 weeks that we were there in Minnesota. And oh my God, it was hilarious because his feet, would point they'd both point the same direction, so to speak. And everywhere we went, if we were in line at a convenience store or something, I'd nudge people and I'd go, look at that guy's feet, look at that guy's feet. And you know what, after about 3 days or so, his left boot kind of stretched itself out, so it wasn't quite so evident that he was wearing 2 left boots. But oh my God, talk about karma. But anyway, I had such a blast at that time, and won't ever forget some of those memories from that stuff. But anyway, Rooney, if you just for some reason happen to, by some strange chance, see this, man, I hope that life has treated you well. Take care, everybody.